Hi, and welcome back to Echoes from the Quiet Corner. I am Shreya. Today, I want to talk about three strange creatures sharing the same jungle: a tiger made of fire and questions, a tiger made of five short lines, and one big yes, and a new creature we are all still learning to name: artificial intelligence. One poet, William Blake, once looked at the tiger and asked in wonder, "What immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry?" Another 6-year-old child poet, Neil, wrote simply, "He destroyed his cage. Yes, yes, the tiger is out." Between those two tigers lies a whole conversation about artificial intelligence. On one side, fear, wonder, responsibility. On the other, excitement, liberation, the joy of possibility. And right now, we are living exactly in the space between them. Let's start with the first tiger, William Blake's tiger. In the older poem, the tiger burns bright in the forest of the night. The poet doesn't try to tame it. He doesn't even try to describe it fully. He questions it. Who made you? What kind of power forged your eyes, your muscles, your flame? If the same hand made the gentle lamb, what does it mean that it also made you? Every stanza is a question mark. This tiger is not just an animal, it's a symbol of dangerous beauty, of creative power that might also destroy. When I think of AI through this lens, it feels very familiar. We stand in front of systems that can write code, generate images, pass exams, imitate our voices, and soon maybe plan and act in the world. And we ask, who is really framing this fearful symmetry? Do the ones building it understand what they are unleashing? What happens when the power becomes too complex for its own creators to fully explain? Blake's tiger is alignment anxiety in poetic form, wonder and caution braided together. Now we turn to the second tiger, a tiny poem written by a 6-year-old. The tiger, he destroyed his cage. Yes, yes, the tiger is out. That's it. No description, no backstory, no theology. Just a moment. The rhythm feels like a heartbeat speeding up. First, the tiger. We meet the creature. Then, he destroyed his cage. Something irreversible has happened. Then, yes, yes. The poem is not just telling us, it's celebrating it. And finally, the tiger is out. The world has changed. If the first poem is about who dared to make such a thing, this one is about what happens when it cannot be contained. This is the other side of artificial intelligence, the joy of tools that break old cages of bureaucracy and boredom, systems that can help diagnose disease, translate languages, and give people creative abilities they never had before. New forms of art, science, and play that feel like doors opening. When people talk about AI as empowerment, as liberation, this is the tiger they're cheering for. So, what does it mean to put these two poems next to each other and then place AI between them? On one side, who framed this fearful symmetry? On the other, he destroyed his cage. Yes, yes. One poem is the ethics review, the safety checklist, the slow work of audit, policy, and guardrails. It asks, should we? The other is the launch button, the deployment announcement, the thrill of pushing capability into the world. It shouts, we did. We need both. If we only live in the first poem, we feast, too afraid of the fire to light any lamps. If we only live in the second, we sprint ahead with zero plan for what happens after the cage is gone. AI today swings between these two moods. Alarm. This is too powerful, too opaque, too risky. Euphoria. This is amazing. Ship it, integrate it into everything. You can almost hear the punctuation, question marks in research labs and policy rooms, exclamation marks in marketing decks and product launches. The real challenge is not to pick one poem over the other, but to learn how to read them together. Here is one way to do that. Instead of asking, should the tiger be locked up or set free, we ask, what kind of habitat does a tiger need? A cage is built on fear. Keep the thing inside, keep the world outside, hope the bars hold. A habitat is built on understanding. How does this creature behave? What does it need? How do we keep both it and others safe? For AI, a habitat means things like evaluation before deployment, red teaming and monitoring, clear rules about who can use which capabilities, strong institutions that can say not yet when needed, and open conversations about values, not just features. The point is not to kill the tiger, the point is to live in a world where its power does not devour the village. We don't tame wonder by pretending it is harmless. We tame it by pairing wonder with responsibility. There is another layer here too. These poems are not only about outer creatures, they are also about what lives inside us. We have a Blake tiger in the mind, the part of us that questions, reflects, worries, asks for meaning, and a nail tiger, the 6-year-old's tiger, the part that wants to smash the cage, try the new thing, shout yes to opportunity. When we talk about AI only as danger, we risk projecting our own fears onto it and missing the ways it could genuinely help. When we talk about AI only as miracle, we risk outsourcing our judgment and letting systems and their owners decide too much for us. The poems quietly ask us, what kind of humans are we becoming in response to this new power? Are we learning to hold both critique and curiosity in the same pair of hands? Because in the end, AI will reflect the structure of our choices. The tiger outside is shaped by the tigers within. So, where does this leave us? Picture AI as a tiger stepping out of its cage. It's beautiful and terrifying. It carries real danger and real possibility. It needs space to run and boundaries that keep it from wrecking the world around it. From one poem, we borrow the courage to ask hard questions. From the other, we borrow the courage to say yes to change. Maybe the wisest path is to build habitats instead of prisons and cages, to design systems that serve human dignity, and to stay awake to what we are creating, not just in code, but in culture, institutions, and ourselves. The first poet asks, who dares frame this fearful symmetry? The child answers he destroyed his cage. Yes, yes, the tiger is out. Our task, standing between them, is to make sure that when history looks back, it can add one more line. And they learn to walk with the tiger without losing their humanity. Thank you for listening to Echoes from the Quiet Corner. If this episode made you think differently about AI, or about poetry, or about life in general, I would love for you to share it with a friend who might enjoy walking with these tigers too. Bye.